Today is day 4 with Royal Galapagos. Last night we sailed 5 hours south to the town of Villamil, and today is going to be a little different than the last few days because we're going to be spending most of the day on land.
We're about to get on the dinghy boat and it's going to take us to the shore. Then we got on a bus and it's going to take us about an hour to the second largest active volcano crater in the world. And we get to hike to the top of it.
Should be a good start to the day.
Adios.
Down. We just got to the town of Villamil. It is the 3rd largest city in the Galapagos, but it only has about 4,000 people. Now we're about to get on some trucks that's going to take us to the mountain. We're really hoping for good weather so we can have a good view at the top. That's where we're going. We have about a 45-minute hike to the top of the crater. So far, so good.
But what impressed so much to Fray Tomás de Berlanga was the type of the shell of the land tortoise. Normally, you see the dome shell. Here, the dome shell looks like saddleback, that in Spanish means Galapagos.
Oh, yes.
So, you say the tortoise shells looks like Galapagos. And then they call the islands of the Galapagos the land tortoise. It's a reptile. And reptiles is very slow metabolism. So for one meal that they get today, they need at least a week or 10 days to drop it, to digest it. So they always are full. They get a giant size, a lot of fat. So they don't need to eat for more or less 1 year.
So we're climbing straight up this volcano. The Galapagos sits basically right on the equator. So it's really hot here, but thankfully it's a little overcast today. So the hike's actually been really nice. So after an hour hike, we arrived at the top of the Negra volcano, which is the 2nd largest volcanic crater in the entire world. It's still active. The last time it erupted was 5 years ago, just like a small eruption, because our guide Jaime told us that if it were ever to actually erupt, it would basically kill everything on Earth. It's what's known as a mega volcano. Also, you just can't appreciate the size of this thing in the camera. There's no way to capture it in one frame. I did my best with pans, but yeah, you just can't appreciate how truly big it is.
We made it back down the mountain. We're about to get back on the bus, and then back on the dinghy, and then back on the Natural Paradise.
Thank you.
Hey, friend.
How are you, sir?
Fantastic.
Muy bien. It was a fantastic day, yeah?
Yes.
Very nice.
Good morning.
After we got back to the boat, we had another delicious lunch, and then we just had 2 hours to rest and relax and enjoy the views.
I enjoyed the view with some coffee and cookies on the roof. The food here has been mind-blowingly good. We keep saying like lunch was delicious, but seriously, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is top notch. Every single meal, I'm like, that was so good. I can't believe we're on a boat and eating this deliciously.
I think I had the best fish of my life for lunch. Like coming to the Galapagos, I expected to have an amazing trip with nature, but I did not expect the food to be so good.
The coffee and cookies are like 24/7 too. Any time of the day. If you want some, you can go get some.
It's a big deal for Carrot Coffee 24/7.
And now we're about to get back on the dinghy boat. It's taking us back to the town where we're gonna get on the bus and go to a few other cool places. New form of transportation this time. It's called a tuba. It's like a big open bus. Like a safari. Our first stop is this Flamingo Lagoon. They came here all the way from the Caribbean on their own and then stayed here. There's not a ton of them in the Galapagos, but I think most of them live here. And out of all the flamingos we've seen lately, I just learned for the first time, they do this little dance with their feet, and it's like breaking up the ground while they eat. And it's so cute when they do it. It's like they're dancing. It's the first time I've noticed that they do that. We're about to see baby turtles.
4 giant turtles.
Charles Darwin Station opened the doors in 1959. More or less 67% of the eggs that they collect, they hatch and they survive.
I'm not sure how well you can see or hear what's happening behind me, but those are some mating turtles. They started this breeding center because people used to hunt tortoises not too long ago, and so they're trying to repopulate. So they have 4 males and 4 females in captivity, and they have tons of babies over here, and apparently they do this every day for about an hour. The sea turtles do it for 6 to 8 hours every day. It seems to be working. Kind of sounds like he's snoring. Like if I didn't know what it was, it sounds like snoring.
Hola.
Hola.
A ver, ¿quién quiere soplar el huevo acá?
We like to blow. Magic.
Magic.
Fuerte.
Hard, hard.
Harder.
Ah, es un baby que tiene recién 25 días.
25 days. 25 days, baby.
Este pertenece al volcán Sierra Negra.
That's so cute.
It is beautiful.
Donatello.
That little baby turtle was only 25 days old. He's so tiny. So we just went in the museum and learned a little bit more about this center. It turns out that the baby tortoises basically can't survive here because of all the introduced animals that have come, like pigs and dogs and ants. They all basically kill the baby tortoises, so they have to be bred here and then released when they're like 5 years old, and then they mate naturally, and then they just keep releasing them, I guess.
So our guide Jaime told us that these are called poison apple fruits. If you eat one of them, your stomach will start bleeding and you'll have to go to the, almost got me, have to go to the hospital. If you eat two of them, certain death. So that's why I picked it up with the sticks.
And apparently Jaime told that to a family once and the parents didn't believe him and let their child eat one. Crazy. Was the child okay? Now we're walking on this nature trail that's going to take us back into town, and we have about an hour of free time to shop. Maybe for a GoPro. I think we went in every store in the town of Villamil, and there were no GoPros. So, with our last 15 minutes on this island, we're going to spend it walking on the beach for the sunset.
Sign is perfect. So, oh, I dropped it. We're all gonna die.